Free Guy is the new Ryan Reynolds film that has been pushed back a million times, but it's finally here. A bank teller discovers that he's actually an NPC inside a brutal open world video game. Before I get into this film, I have to talk about my history with gaming because this film's obviously centered around a video game, and I want to say that I'm not even a casual gamer. I barely play video games at all. I used to, as a kid, play Nintendo all the time. Used to play Mario, Zelda, all the time. Then I transitioned to like Halo and Call of Duty and Skate when I got my PS3. And then now I really don't play at all. And if I do, I play like 2K and Madden. Don't fucking judge me. Nothing against video games, obviously. I think they're a lot of fun. I just don't find as much enjoyment with them as I used to. The reason I bring that up is because the first thing I want to talk about with this film is that if you're a hardcore gamer or even a casual gamer, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with Free Guy. There's a lot of Easter eggs, references to video games that you're going to understand and have a lot of fun with. I mean, the world that they're in, which is called Free City, is obviously influenced by games like Grand Theft Auto, which I understood. Like, there were references to that I clearly understood, and I don't really game at all, so I could still have fun with this film as well. In my opinion, Free Guy is a typical summer popcorn movie that you can have fun with. But there are some themes in here that I thought were pretty great. Like, what's really real? What's real to you? Things like that. The film also does a good job of setting up some things throughout the film that builds a connection with some characters, and by the end of the movie you see what they were doing the whole entire time, and it's very beautiful. I really liked that a lot. I thought that really worked. I won't even get into it because that would be spoilers, but that was by far my favorite part about the film. For the performances, everyone does a great job. Ryan Reynolds was charismatic as hell. He's always so much fun to watch. Jodie Comer plays his love interest, and she was great. I liked her a lot. I don't think I've really seen her in anything else, but she was fantastic. I want to see her in more things. And then Taika Waititi was fucking hilarious. He's not in it too much. I thought he'd be in it way more. He plays the villain, but he was great. It's just fun watching him be weird, quirky, and all over the place. And I read somewhere that a lot of the things he did in the film was actually improv, which is impressive. I like Joe Carey in the film as well. He plays like a nerdy version of Steve Harrington from Stranger Things. Just a very likable character. As for the story, the plot, and the pacing, I think it's done well. You're constantly engaged because it's so fast-paced. There's never really a boring moment in this film. And as I said before, I like some of the themes and ideas that are thrown in here, and there is a real connection you have with some of these characters by the end of the film. The reason I bring that up now is because I'm going to get into my issues, because I was somewhat frustrated with Free Guy because those things I just mentioned worked, but then there are times in this film that you really just have to turn off your brain and not think about. I'm not saying with like the plot and the story because it's crazy, but there are times where the things that they're going for came off as somewhat cheesy and corny. But on the other side, with some of the themes that they were doing and the connection you have with these characters, it really worked, and you're not supposed to turn your brain off in those scenes. But there are other times throughout the film with some plot points, some things that characters do, things that characters say, that I think you're supposed to turn your brain off because it comes off as extremely corny. And that's where I get frustrated because the film doesn't know where to stay on this track or that track. I guess it's a mix of both, but when you're making a film like that, I don't think you can really do that. A recent popcorn movie that you're supposed to completely turn your brain off is Kong vs. Godzilla, and they completely embrace that. Here, they're trying to do a little bit of both. And I don't know if you can really do that because there are definitely things in this film that you cannot think about because it'll make no fucking sense. You have to turn your brain off, and there's a lot of character decisions that don't make sense as well. But on the other side of it, there are definitely moments in this film that you're not supposed to turn your brain off with connection with some characters and some of the themes that they're trying to tell you. Free Guy gets a lot of things right, but a lot of things wrong. But at the end of the day, it is a fun summer popcorn movie. I can't consider myself a gamer. I can't even consider myself a casual gamer, but I still had a lot of fun with Free Guy. There are things and references that are thrown in the film that I understood. So if you're a casual gamer or a hardcore gamer, I think you'll have a lot of fun with Free Guy, and you're going to understand a lot of the things that are thrown in this film. I liked all the performances. Ryan Reynolds was a lot of fun. Jodie Comer was great. She was awesome. Taika Waititi was all over the fucking place. That was cool. And Joe Carey, I liked him a lot. Haven't seen him in anything since Stranger Things, but he was great in it too. The story, the plot, and the pacing is well done here. It's always fast-paced. You're never bored. There are themes that are thrown in this film that I think really work, and there is emotional connection to some of these characters that really pay off by the end of the film. Unfortunately, though, with those themes and connections that you have with the characters, it becomes a summer movie that you're not supposed to turn your brain off. So there are a lot of moments in this film that can come off as pretty crazy, pretty ridiculous. You question some of the things that characters do, and then some scenes come off as overall corny. It hits this weird crossroad where it's telling you not to turn your brain off, but at the same time to turn your brain off, and that can work sometimes. And here, I guess it kind of worked. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, this is probably the best video game movie ever made, but that's really not saying much. I'll give Free Guy 7 Davy Daves. It's a fun summer movie. I didn't hate it. I know it sounded like I probably hated it because I was shitting on it at the end. I had fun with it. It seemed like everyone in my theater was having fun with it. So I'm curious to see what you guys think when you see it next weekend. Please let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Davy Dave's Takes.